I'm very sorry, and I promise, like Tems mentioned, she's coming back to Toronto, and we will be putting on an amazing show with her once she comes back. And for the Jazmine fans, I'm so sorry again.
Music fans in Toronto are disappointed again. Another festival has been struck by the Toronto Festival curse. The latest victim, Manifesto. 2 of their international headliners will no longer be here to perform. Hey, I'm Gonez, and before we go any further, I need you to do a few things, like subscribing to this channel, tap that notification bell, smash the like button, and don't forget to follow us across all of our social media. So Tems and Jazmine Sullivan, they were supposed to headline Manifesto. Both of those artists will no longer be here. They've been replaced by Division and Devito, and many fans are disappointed. The news comes after a weekend of festival chaos in the city with fans demanding refunds. Well, we're here at Manifesto headquarters to talk with organizers to see what went wrong and what are they doing to fix the situation. Tanisha from Manifesto, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I want to talk about Manifesto. Your 2 headliners, Tems, Jazmine Sullivan, they were supposed to headline the festival.
Yes.
Both of them are no longer going to be here. What happened?
Yes, so unfortunately, Tems had issues with her visa out of our control, and Jazmine has a personal family issue that unfortunately, again, she just wasn't able to attend, which was devastating to us. We picked them for a reason. You know, being a Black woman, it was very purposeful, picking 2 strong Black women, and a series of unfortunate events, really.
It does come at an interesting time in the city where people are questioning every single festival
100%.
that they buy tickets to. I want to start off with Jazmine Sullivan because that is the most recent announcement, just 2 days before the festival is to take place. Fans are disappointed.
I was disappointed. I can definitely understand why, but again, it's something that's out of my control, and I can only control what I can, and which is why, you know, it was important for me, especially given this last weekend, that I was like, okay, we need to make sure that although we can't have Jazmine, we are still putting on a strong festival where people that come leave happy and leave content and ready for next year.
In the Instagram post Manifesto released, it did say Jazmine's not showing up for the festival was due to unforeseen circumstances. Are there any more details you can share with folks about why?
It is a personal issue with Jazmine, so I'm gonna let her explain to her fans. She did also make a post kind of saying that if she could be there, she would have been. So you just have to, like, I guess, watch her Instagrams for her to kind of share what it is that's going on with her. But just send love to her. Yeah, that's all I can say.
And then Tems, I know you've pointed to that it was a visa issue, but she was still posted on the flyers and marketed to be a headliner, and many people bought tickets, in particular to see Tems.
Yes.
So a lot of people are wondering, why put somebody on a flyer and promote them if their documents aren't in place to come into the country?
For sure. So the way it works is that we book them, the agents know how long it takes to get their visa sorted. We don't sort their visas. So we're told that her visa is, you know, processed, it's in the processing, what phase it is in processing, and there should be no issue. So until that day, that's when they found out that her visa was not granted. And again, it was like a situation that we had no control over. As we can see, there's been a lot of artists from the African diaspora that have been denied visas. There was a show in Montreal that got canceled last minute. Fireboy DML, his visa again. Visa issues, so it's something that we need to like really talk to our border security, border control about like what's the issue, because these are like internationally known artists. They're not here to stay in Canada. They, you know, they have a life outside. Tems lives in the UK. She's not trying to be here. So it's really just I think it's an issue we need to deal with like government. It's above me.
Is there something that festival, you know, organizers can do in terms of saying, we'll only market an artist once we know that their visa has been approved?
For sure.
Rather than waiting for the approval and still marketing them?
For sure, that is an option, but again, like the way festivals work, it's different than concert. If it was a concert, we definitely would not promote. But festivals, part of festival culture is that sometimes artists drop in and out, which it sucks for people that are buying tickets for our particular artists. But Yeah, it's just the name of the game. They get their visa process. Normally they have their visa already sorted out, and we can never imagine that Tems, who has done shows in the US already, be having trouble coming into Canada. If she was a newer artist, that would have been something that we would have done, but for artists like Tems, just won a Grammy, like, you know, we're not thinking that would be an issue.
Is there anything that you guys here at Manifesto could have done differently?
For sure. I think that moving forward, we'll be more involved with the visa process. I now have contacts like immigration lawyers that I now have personal contacts with, where I'm going to just be like, this is the lawyer that you're dealing with. So I know exactly where we are. I also now have contacts with the Nigerian embassy, contacts with Afrofest, like all these different people that I've connected with to make sure that Tems could come in, but we just couldn't make it happen. So now, having those contacts, I can now be, you know, ready for if this happens again.
Devito has been one of the replacements for Jazmine Sullivan. He's also an international artist.
Yes.
Is he for sure coming?
He is. Devito's actually American.
Okay.
So he can definitely get into the country. There's no issue, which is why we picked Devito.
Is he here now though? Because I think for people, they want to know like.
He's not here yet, but he is flying in tomorrow morning. I know. I've been telling people, like, I will go and, like, personally, like, bring him on the plane. I booked his hotel myself. Like, he is coming. He's going to be here. He will be here.
What do you say to the people, though, who are extremely frustrated and at this point say they just want a refund?
I 100%. We are granting refunds. I know right now there's an issue with Ticketmaster. So when you work with a venue like Budweiser, we don't own the tickets. It's sold through Live Nation, so we don't have direct access to like actually go into the system and do anything ourselves. So we're working with Live Nation to fix whatever glitch that's happening, and as soon as it can happen, it will happen, and an announcement will be put out. Anyone that's sending emails will get a notification, DMs, notification, where we want to give money back. We're not here to make money. Manifesto is a nonprofit arts organization. The show is not making us money. It's just a space. We just want to create space for our artists to have the chance to perform on this like big stage that otherwise maybe they wouldn't have had the opportunity to.
How long has Manifesto been in operation or putting on festivals?
16 years. This is our 16th year.
16 years.
Yeah.
So you guys have been in the game for a long time.
100%, yeah.
Looking at what has happened in Toronto with concert festivals this week.
Yes.
And the damaging reputation this city has taken.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that?
Honestly, sometimes I wish that people like are just honest. There's a certain point in time when planning an event where you know it's not happening, like it's not going the way it should, and you should make the decision at that point to be like, let's just pull this, instead of just like throwing something together, because when your show messes up, it affects the whole industry, where now everyone's just like skeptical of everything. So I think that people need to be honest, transparent. If you're not, you're gonna be put in a situation where what we're in right now, everyone just doesn't want to go out. That's not what we don't want. It affects our industry, it affects the economy. It's just not a good look.
Do you feel like Toronto is going to be one of those cities where artists kind of look at it and say, I don't know if I want to perform there?
I think it may affect, especially because of the artists like Burna Boy. He's going to be telling his friends, like, do you know what just happened this past PopCon? Like, these are like big names, and it might take some time for artists to, again, trust to come to Toronto, which sucks. But, you know, Manifesto is here to make sure that we're continuing to work with artists. We work with a big machine like Live Nation that has access to a lot of artists. So we're going to make sure that, you know, again, this year has been a weird year, but moving forward, we're going to make sure that we're good.
There are people who are lumping you guys in with those other festivals that were just outright chaotic.
Yeah.
What makes Manifesto's situation different, though? Because there was a promise, right, to people, and who's performing tomorrow aren't the same people.
For sure.
In terms of headliners.
Yeah. So the difference with Manifesto is we're not concert promoters. We are a youth arts organization. Our purpose here is to provide A1 quality shows to our community. Outside of that, we also do programming. We give opportunity to youth to like get hands-on experience that they can later use as like reference. So the difference between us and them is that this is not a money grab for us. This is us, like, our tickets are $25. We're not, it's very clear we're not here to make money, and that's really what separates the two of us. Understanding that, like you said, the two artists that we promised aren't coming, but again, I can only control what I can control, right? So we did our best to not replace. I also want to say these are not replacements because Tems and Jazmine are irreplaceable. These are just two other artists that are amazing that we're bringing onto the bill to make sure that we have a great show for everybody.
And that's Division and Devito.
Yes.
Is there any apology you want to say to people who are disappointed that the two original headliners are not performing?
For sure. I'm very sorry. And I promise, like Tems mentioned, she's coming back to Toronto, and we will be putting on an amazing show with her once she comes back. And for the Jazmine fans, I'm so sorry again. Yeah, I apologize.
I guess I would love to leave it on because I know there are a lot of local acts
Yeah.
that still will be performing
Yes.
on Friday. So can you list off some of the people who will be performing?
For sure. So we have Double M, we have Amal, we have Toby, Dylan St. Clair, Division, we have Fame Holiday, Tia Banks, Ray Hammond. Vivid is now doing our after party. Charmaine is our host. We love Charmaine. And Trezor is also our host. Killa Kells is our DJ. Yeah, it's going to be an amazing show, nonetheless. I have no worries.
Misha, thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Hey BG Squad, thanks so much for checking out our channel. And listen to this, we have more great content for you, like this video right here and this video right here. By the way, don't forget to subscribe to this channel right now and tap that notification bell.